Hello! I saw a video on YouTube by Versive Singularity called Sexism in Gaming and Culture, and I also saw a blog post on Free Thoughts Blogs, that's the titley thing, .com, and both of these are about basically commenting on a way that a woman looks. For example, in the video is about a blog post in which someone had commented on the way that a group of cosplayers looked, and it was taken as offensive. And in the blog post that I mentioned as well, the blog post is about why you shouldn't tell that random girl on the street that she's hot. So I do have some opinions on this, obviously. I think that you can tell a random person on the street that they look good or they look hot or so forth. You can compliment someone you don't know, and it can just be a compliment. However, there's a large difference between being rude to someone and complimenting them. You know? There's a difference between saying, "Hey, I like your skirt," to someone that you don't know, or shouting, "Oi, sex on legs," or whistling at them or something like that. Those aren't complimenting the person, that's being rude to them, I guess. That's shouting at them, you know? Both of these posts that I read or watched mentioned asking for it, you know, where people commenting on whether or not, if you're dressed as a cosplayer or something, you're asking for it because you're dressing in a way that can be viewed as sexy, so maybe people can view you as sexy. But I think however you're dressed and however people have opinions or view that, you aren't asking for people to be rude to you and shout at you or, you know, stuff like that, or touch you. That's not what you're asking for. You're allowed to have an opinion on the way that someone looks, but to shout at them or be rude with that opinion is going to be taken as offensive. It's no longer then you having an opinion that they look sexy or look good. It's you harassing them with your opinion and you shouting at them and saying things about them in such a way. I think we shouldn't say that no one can tell someone who's a stranger that they look good. You know, the blog post title was "Why You Shouldn't Tell That Random Girl on the Street That She's Hot." I think you can, but you have to acknowledge that she's a human being. You're not going to just shout, well, you shouldn't just shout at her. She's a person as well. Your opinion doesn't override her as a person. I know that whatever I'm wearing is never consent to shout at me about it. The issue here isn't really about complimenting people or making comment on the way that they look or such. It's the way that it's done. I was thinking about this recently, I guess, because yesterday someone shouted at me in the street, and I guess it's not a format that is beneficial to people. I mean, if they'd come up and they'd complimented me face to face, we could have had, I don't know, a conversation or something. But if they just shout at me across the street, then I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. I don't know what anyone is getting from that situation of being shouted at across the street. And I know that they probably meant it as a compliment to shout something at me. And I guess I took it as a compliment, but I was also uncomfortable because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with that. You know, I was supposed to react from across the street. I don't know what you're supposed to do, what anyone's supposed to do, and then you've just created a uncomfortable situation, whereas you could have just gone up to that person and spoke to them like a human being. And this sort of goes for all of the situations, whether you're wearing cosplay clothes, regular clothes, whether you're in work or on the street or anywhere. You know, there's a difference between saying, "Oh, I like the clothes you're wearing, you look sexy," and making some sort of a joke and shouting at someone and being rude to them.